how London, England has changed between the 1990s and 2020s, looking at 3 famous buildings in London, England. Admiralty Arch, Horse Guards Parade, and the column to commemorate the Duke of York. They're all just off Trafalgar Square. Seeing how fast London was changing, I wanted to create a record. So, throughout the last 40 years, I have photographed anything I came across that was old, different, or interesting. So I photographed these structures in the 1990s. I've come back in 2023 to see what has changed, find out more about what I photographed and anything that I might have missed. As well as highlighting the change, I'll provide some history and context, which is quite fascinating and surprising. Please stay to the end for all the details. I hope you enjoy. Please like and subscribe. Brought to you by Eclectic Experience. Change seen through images. Looking at a map, these are the 3 places we are covering during the video. Admiralty Arch, Horse Guards Parade, and the Duke of York column with the surrounding area. Zooming out, we can see they are very prominently located near the Mall, which is the parade route up to Buckingham Palace, the residence of the royal family, and it comes from Trafalgar Square. For some context, I looked back at the earliest Ordnance Survey map on the National Library of Scotland website, link in the description below, and came up with 1851. Here we can see Horse Guards Parade and the Duke of York Monument, but not Admiralty Arch. So let's start with Admiralty Arch. Before going back to 1997, let's look at today's view from Trafalgar Square. We can see Admiralty Arch. It is a prominent feature and stands out due to its size and the fact there are arches over the road, over the Mall. By the way, I've done a similar video on Trafalgar Square, so please check it out if that would be of interest. As Admiralty Arch is such a well-known historic building, I was surprised that it was relatively new. It was only actually completed in 1912, though it is obviously well over 100 years old, but it is a Grade 1 listed building. It was originally the official residence of the first Sea Lord and government offices related to the Admiralty, hence its name, Admiralty Arch. It is rumoured there is a tunnel going from here to 10 Downing Street, the home of the Prime Minister. If there was, it must have been sealed up now, as the building is now a hotel. It was sold in 2012 to a property developer and work has been ongoing ever since. At first glance, the building looks symmetrical, but closer inspection, there is in fact an extra set of windows on one side. Looking from the Trafalgar Square side, these are on the left. I've seen this building on numerous occasions, but it was only during the renovation works turning it into a hotel that I looked closely enough to see. Comparing the pictures that are 26 years apart between 1997 and 2023, it is hard to see a great deal of difference, as the exterior of the building looks unchanged. Even the road colour and the street furniture looks the same, though we do see a couple of old style taxis in the 1997 photo. And on both there was hoarding up, illustrating the amount of work that has been going on the building. Moving just round the corner to Horse Guards Parade. This piece of land is the location of the annual Trooping of the Colour ceremony, where the Queen, and now the King, reviews the troops every year. Horse Guards Parade dates back to the time of Henry VIII, when this was part of Whitehall Palace. This was the tilt yard, which was a place used for medieval jousting. The palace has almost totally gone now, with most of it burning down in 1698, but this piece of land remained and has successfully not been built on. The buildings we can see in the background date from the 18th century and are all Grade 1 listed. Horse Guards Parade is also the official entrance to St James's Park and Buckingham Palace. It is used for other purposes as well as Trooping of the Colour, including music performances, and in 2012 it was even used for the beach volleyball at the London Olympic Games. This is the view in 1997 and here again in 2023. The obvious change is the Millennium Wheel seen in the background. That's actually on the other side of the Thames, and in 1997 was still at the design stage. Apart from the Millennium Wheel in the background, as Horse Guards Parade is surrounded by Grade 1 listed buildings, I would not expect much change, and there isn't. We are now looking back at the Mall, and if we look up, we see the Duke of York monument. The monument was finished in 1834. It is just under 42 metres or 137 feet tall, and it is a Grade 1 listed structure. When I first saw this, I wondered what on earth it was. Then I looked at the plaque and was really none the wiser. Who was the Duke of York, and why was there a massive column for him in this fairly prominent place on the way to Buckingham Palace? A possibility is from the nursery rhyme, "The grand old Duke of York, he had 10,000 men. He marched them up to the top of the hill." That was sung about a Duke of York, probably this one, but it is not known. After all, there have actually been several Duke of Yorks, including the current one, Prince Andrew. This Duke of York was the second son of King George III, Prince Frederick. Prince Frederick did reform the army whilst he was Commander-in-Chief, and his father wanted a memorial to him, but could not raise the funds. The solution to this was not universally popular, to say the least. It was to deduct 1 day's pay from everyone in the army to pay for it. And that's how it happened. The column has the ICA, or Institute of Contemporary Art, right next door, so there is a steady flow of visitors passing by, as well as this being a significant tourist area and being on the parade route for many events. If this large number of visitors or passers-by thought going to the viewing platform at the top by the statue would be a good idea, they are unfortunately disappointed. Although I think it did once accept visitors, it hasn't in a very, very long time. This is the view looking away from the statue down Waterloo Place in 1997 and then again in 2023. Again, this area is surrounded in listed buildings, so it is not surprising that it has not changed, but look at the cars. Looking at this view, the central area has now been pedestrianised and motor vehicles are now left the area just on the outside. It's also good to look at the type of cars there were back in the late 90s. For a direct comparison, this is the 1997 picture side by side with the 2023 one. I hope you enjoyed the video. This is the link I mentioned earlier to the video on Trafalgar Square. Please take a look. I'll be aiming to make more similar videos, so please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching Eclectic Experience, change seen through images.